I'm Insomniac.
And I'm Pops.
And this is Shooting the Shit.
a.k.a. Chatting with Pops.
This is episode 41 of Shooting the Shit, a.k.a. Chatting with Pops. And this is a patron-picked topic, really they all are. Even meeting these people, somebody suggested that we do that, one of our awesome patrons. If you're not one of our awesome patrons, you might want to get to that link at the top of the video description and do that. You also get to see these episodes a week early if you're signed up over there. That's pretty cool. This episode, types of food you like to eat, home cooked versus eating out, the genres of food you like, and your opinions on diets and exercise, fad dieting, and the like. And this is from Thomas B. Thomas, thank you for the topic.
I didn't catch the last part about the diets. That should be an interesting conversation.
I sent it to you in black and white.
I only read like 3/4, and then later I read it and went, oh, the thing about the diets.
That wasn't very long. Did that sound very long to anybody out there that you didn't read the whole thing?
I didn't read the whole thing. Now, the whole food thing, this should be good too.
Oh, are you kidding?
All right, so we're starting with the food, eating out versus he's making espresso. You guys probably hear him off camera here, getting espresso in the middle of the show.
Espresso.
Okay, well, that's how I say it.
There's no such thing as espresso.
Trying to get his little coffee off camera. Little coffee. I'll call it little coffee.
There we go, nice and frothy.
Jeez.
Oh, look how frothy that came out.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
There are no fucking words.
Little coffee. Okay, anyway.
Alright.
Alright, so first was...
Right, so first was...
This is off to a really shitty start this week.
Eating home versus out, right?
That wasn't the first part. There's types of food you like to eat.
Oh, types of... yeah, this is a good one. Now, me, I used to. Hot dogs were, beyond the shadow of a doubt, my favorite food and what I really love to eat. Now, I don't really eat them much anymore, if at all. But that would have been my all-time favorite. Then behind that is all foods that I don't eat anymore. And we'll get to that later in this segment. You know, like good old Italian food, you know, pasta. No, pasta and you know...
Oxtail.
Would you shut the hell up? I don't like that crap at all, even though I've kind of tried it.
I love soul food.
Back to foods that I really love. I mean, you know, lasagna, manigot, and baked ziti, and meatballs. And I don't really eat any of this anymore, believe it or not. We'll get to that as we get into this episode. Those are my favorite foods, but, you know, if I go in a line, it would have been the old standard hot dog, like I said, which I don't eat anymore, the Italian food. And going on the line, I've grown to really like Asian food. I used to hate it when I was younger. But my wife, who you guys have met...
No. Don't blanket. Don't say Asian food. You don't like Asian food.
No, right, all right. No, I don't like sushi.
You don't like Indian food either, really. You like Chinese food. That's not Asian food, that's Chinese food.
Okay, I like... Right. Well, no, I mean, the Indian food is like, you know... I mean, it's all right.
You like the rice. That doesn't count.
No, I mean, I had that one dish. I liked it. I mean, you know. That would be low on the totem pole. He's got a point. But, yeah, all right. So, Chinese food, I guess you'd say, or... But that other place is Thai. That's like more of a rap evasion. Anyway, so then after that, he took me to a Brazilian place. That was pretty good. I haven't experienced a lot of other stuff like French. You guys mentioned a lot of stuff. I haven't experienced it. I mean, I don't know. What I've mentioned is I like. But unfortunately, my favorites, I really don't eat no more, and that's the truth for the most part. So there's my favorites and my take on that part. What do you got?
Really, the only genre of food that I seem to not like consistently when I've gone to restaurants and tried it a couple times is Greek food. Something, I don't know, well, some specific types of Greek food and Greek delicacies I don't like. Other than that, I like a lot of different types of food. Me and Rosemary go to all kinds of restaurants. I like every genre of Asian food. I love Mexican
Yeah,
food,
he does.
various Latin foods.
It's hard to get me to try it, but
I like sushi. I mean, I like all kinds of different, combination bistro places.
I'll tell you this much.
oh.
You'll get me to eat Mexican food any day before you get me that Ethiopian place. I'm just saying that.
We love Ethiopian food.
Ah.
Ethiopian food is awesome.
Ah.
He thinks it's
Good
weird
Lord.
because you eat it with your hands.
Oh, no.
Actually, that's a quick funny story about that is the first time I went to an Ethiopian restaurant, I actually, they brought the stuff out. There was no utensils. I asked them for a fork, and the lady looked so offended that I thought they were going to throw me out.
Good.
I had to literally YouTube under the
No,
table,
thank
how do you eat Ethiopian food? And I got it.
That's pretty good.
I really did. And I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to eat it like this.
And I ain't eating no fucking food with my hands like I'm a fucking a cave dweller.
No,
it ain't
you don't
happening.
eat it. You don't technically eat it with your hands. You use the what the hell's the
bread?
name of the? Yeah, but I can't remember the name of it. It has a specific name. But you use the bread stuff to pick up the food and put it in your mouth.
Wait, let me pick up the glasses. Okay.
Speaking of food that you probably think comes out of a cave but doesn't, I love halal food.
That comes way out of a fucking cave.
Now, actually,
It's way the fuck in the cave.
it comes out of a truck on 53rd and 6th.
I'm fucking around.
That'll be an episode of Farewell New York at
model.
some point. But
Yeah.
I really do like halal food.
He does. Again, a lot of this stuff I haven't tried. I don't think I'd try it. Like I said, I don't think I'd try the Ethiopian halal. I ain't going there. Some of the other
In
ones,
fact, here's
you
an
know.
interesting thing, but I mean, I guess it's not too interesting, I guess. My least favorite genre of food to eat lately in the last 2-3 years is Italian food. And it's mostly
Go
because
figure.
I grew up eating Italian food.
Right,
I'm so
right.
tired of it
No.
that I just don't want to eat it anymore.
Right.
So I just don't eat it anymore.
Well,
I
see-
literally, lately, I will opt for a diner over going to an Italian restaurant.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if I had to go back to how I would like to eat, and I don't anymore, it probably my favorite would be, well, a hot dog, period. But, would be your old American standards. Give me a cheeseburger, give me, I don't know, maybe,
Home cooked versus eating out.
I mean, I really, the knee jerk should be eating home. I mean, it's nothing better than a home cooked meal. That's my opinion.
That depends on the chef.
And I don't know. I think I'd always take a home cooked meal, especially something good, over out. But I don't know. I guess it depends. I'm gonna say definitely give me a really good any type of home cooked meal.
For me, it's 100% who's cooking it. And I don't just mean whoever's cooking it for you at home versus a chef at a 5-star restaurant. I also mean, am I the one cooking it at home, or is somebody awesome cooking it at home?
No,
for
I'm
me?
thinking my wife's cooking.
If somebody's cooking for me at home and it's good and I'm not doing it, then it's a really tough one. Otherwise, shit. I mean, let's go to a good restaurant every time.
No.
No,
I'm saying if my wife's cooking it, I'll have that home cooked meal.
If I gotta do it, nah. I'll go out and eat.
No question, if I got to do it. Although I don't cook bad, but I don't do it all the time. I'm obviously I'm going to go out if I'm going to do it, but yeah. So
Your opinions on diets and exercise, fad dieting, and the like.
now,
Diets and exercise.
now, okay. Now this is a fact that I'm going to tell everyone out here, and you'll all be surprised, probably get a huge kick out of it. Fact. Rob could tell you this. I used to be 320 to 220 and 30 pounds, not just 15, 20 years ago. That's a fact. I could show you the pictures. And about 15 years ago, maybe a little more, give or take, Joe Pro used to bust my chops. This is a guy we work with. He's heard about Joe Pro in the store, in the music store. And one day I just said, that's enough. And honestly, this is where not eating Italian food for the most part regularly, and sugar. I really cut out simple carbs big time. It's not a fad diet. It works. It worked for me. I think it worked for you. So, and I literally, where I sit right now, from what I just told you about, that's 100 pounds right now. 100 pounds that I lost, and this is not stapling my stomach. Just by going, I'm not going to eat crappy carbs and sugar anymore. Do I fall off the wagon a little bit here and there and gain a few pounds? Which recently I did, about 15, 20 pounds. Took it back off. Learning to eat really whole foods. Not a fad diet, whole foods, a livid. Speaking of Doc Sclamaro, here she comes up again. told me for years, you got to make what you're doing, Robert, a living. Can you live like that? You're going to live it? Then live it. Not a diet, a live it. So I started to learn how to go, I'm not eating sugar and garbage, and I don't anymore. I just don't. And it worked. 100 pounds later, that's a fact. So to go on to the other part, I exercise every day. Exercise is extremely important. One may say, now I did lose a lot of this weight without really doing any major exercise. That's true. So you can lose weight, but exercise is good for you. It's healthy. I do it every day. These days I do yoga, believe it or not. I know you don't believe looking at me that I'm a guy that's doing yoga, but I do a lot of yoga. Used to lift heavily, like Rob lifts still, weights. I used to be a big power lifter and lifter. Don't do much of that, a little bit, but mostly yoga and walk a lot. So I'm really believe in exercise. Think it's tremendous. Do it every day if you can. Don't overdo it. And yeah, I mean, when I was talking about eating, I'll say this. I've learned to eat lean, whole foods, lean meats, and good vegetables, greens, and vegetables. And I really stay away from carbs, sugar of any type. I mean, that's it. It does work. I don't consider that a fad or a diet. Now, fad diets, all kinds of, I think that's all bullshit. And you should stay away from that because you're just getting ripped off and you're just going to, if you lose weight, you're going to rebound. I had done that stuff years ago. Now I've changed my life, period. So it's a real change in your life and living it and doing it different. Takes an extreme amount of discipline. I'll never say it doesn't, but it works. So what's your take?
Well, yeah, part one is it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
Because anytime you think you're going on a diet, I mean, it's short-lived. Even from day one, you're kind of made up your mind that it's short-lived until you hit a certain goal, and then you're just going to go back to eating shit. But then that's how you just gain all the weight back, and then you got to go on another quote-unquote diet. Right. So the sad fact of the matter is, what I've learned early on is that you either have the garbage disposal metabolism, which I know friends that have, which is great, where you can just shovel in food and you'll never gain weight, or you do not. And if you do not, you need to find the foods that work for you.
True.
Or be fat.
And that's what's happening.
Those are your only options. You know, there is no magic key to it. There really is not. Short of doing something unhealthy or taking some kind of crazy pills or, like you were saying, getting some surgeries done.
Yeah, nah.
What he was saying, the basic principles of dieting that have worked for me when I'm actually in shape are not eating any carbs, like you were saying,
simple
cutting out sugars. And actually, let me tell you, the very first step to losing weight, period, isn't even eating, it's drinking. Yeah. If you cut out soda and
I don't drink any.
Yep. Is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no, you're right though. You're right.
Cutting out soda and absolutely any liquids that have sugar in them.
Absolutely.
You will actually see you'll see a change in your body in 1 week just doing that, even if you keep eating bullshit. But then you gotta cut out the other stuff, which sadly I love. Desserts and cake and gummy bears, and I have a sweet tooth. So, that's a real problem. But that shit, you cut that out. And if you look into it a little bit deeper, and this is one of the things that I don't think we necessarily agree on, but I did research on it, and to me it makes sense, is everybody's body is very different from blood type to blood type. And the blood type diet for me made a lot of sense, because there were a lot of things that work for some people on certain diets that don't work for me. And you might want to do a little bit of research into your body and your body type and maybe your blood type, because different foods digest differently in different people. That's something you might want to take a look at. I'm not a nutritionist or a doctor, but the stuff that I did the research on years ago does work for me. And when I'm eating right now, I apply the principles that I learned back then, and I see pretty quick results. So,
well, I can't argue with the last part. I mean, I don't totally agree with, like I said. However, I have seen people try and eat the way I'm eating, and it doesn't work for them. I mean, that's true. I actually have seen that, and I went, that's weird. So there must be something.
Well, it's because we all have different acidity levels, and our blood types break down certain foods differently.
So I mean, I realized years ago, even when I was eating bread and stuff, if I was gobbling down steaks and burgers and I felt okay, And when I ate my Italian food, it'd be like, oh, I'm sluggish. Oh, I don't feel good. So for me, right, it obviously my body was telling me years ago. And I got a hold of that about 15 years or more ago, and a little more, and it's been the best thing for me. So that could be true. You might want to do some research, but there's no way around this either way though. When it comes to sugar, refined sugar, it don't matter what blood type. That's just poison for you when you eat it all the time too much. Again, there's the moderation thing. I can't do that. I go down a rabbit hole. If you can moderately have a piece of cake on the weekend, or a glass of soda once in a while, that's not the end of the world. But having refined sugar every day is poison, causes yeast, it'll cause cancer, it feeds cancer, do that research. It'll kill you and it's bad. So will all these other white processed things. They just lead to feeding things that are bad for you, that'll kill you. And so I did my research there, and I'm very disciplined. And it's not easy in taking care of myself. So this is a good topic once I went on and realized that was there too.
This was a good topic.
Yes, it was
I
a good
wasn't
topic.
even close to done.
Oh, go ahead.
Not even close. And he hijacked the shit out of it again. He's closing the friggin' video.
Okay, go ahead.
How about exercise? Can I talk about
All right,
exercise for a
exercise. I
second?
forgot about that. I was closing up here.
Holy crap.
Shit. Exercise.
So exercise, that is super important. You can lose weight and get in decent shape even if you don't exercise, but why wouldn't you exercise? It speeds up the whole process. Because if you're a guy and you want to lifting alone, even if you don't feel like hitting the treadmill or going for a run or riding the bike, and those things, honestly, I think you should do for a lot of other reasons, but I won't get into those researched topics. But even just lifting alone burns a ton of fat, and it speeds up the metabolic process. So yeah, lifting makes a big difference. Cardio makes a big difference. Of course, this is where you want to do extra research, because if you do too much cardio, that can have adverse effects. Yeah. There's a lot of different things. This is where, honestly, it's not enough to just watch this video and think you'll take a couple notes. You got to really do some research. But once you do, you kind of learn what you have to do and how to go through the cycles. But exercise is super, super important. Even if you were to take out the whole, let's say you're in pretty good shape already and you don't really necessarily need to lose any fat. Exercise should just be a part of your life.
Definitely.
I mean, even in a very basic sense of heart health and just having stamina, you'll be surprised how many different things in your day-to-day life are affected by your stamina.
Definitely.
So you might want to put the bike into your routine, or some running or something like that, even if you're not trying to lose any weight, because it's going to help you in a lot of other ways. So exercise is, in my opinion, I'd say one tiny step below dieting in terms of importance. And the only reason I say that is because if you're exercising but you're also eating shit, your body is processing that shit all the time, and you need both. You definitely need both.
Definitely.
But exercise is almost as important. It's almost like you're slowing yourself down if you're gonna not exercise, but you're gonna eat right, because your body needs the rest.
It does.
You got to exercise it all out, and if you do have fat and stuff you need to lose, you kind of need to speed up that process. You got to turn up the boiler a little bit, and the way you do that is exercise.
Yeah.
So food alone's not going to do it. So yeah, this was a good topic.
It was. The last part of this topic is something I'm passionate about, what we're discussing at the end. Definitely exercise, but don't overdo it. Learn the balance of things he was just saying. Really, as you get older, if you don't exercise, forget it. Your body just comes apart. I mean, you got to be careful, but you got to exercise. And everything he just said more eloquently than me is all right on, man. I mean, I'm down for taking care of yourself. And, some of the things we discussed, like I said, you just can't take notes of what we're saying, see what works for you. But get it, live it, do it, make it a lifestyle. And you could turn your life around. I have. I've done that in a lot of ways, you guys hear out here. So definitely I'm passionate about the last part of this topic. I mean, I enjoyed it all, but definitely good.
If you are a patron, leave some more topics for us under where I post this episode on there, episode 41, whatever, on the Patreon page. Leave topics under there. I'll add them to the list. We try to get to all the topics that you guys are leaving for us. We are also still going to continue that series you guys have been loving, with us inviting people, some guests on. So I don't even know who we have on next, but I guess we'll surprise you.
I'll figure it out.
We certainly could use all the support we can get. So if you'd like not only some awesome rewards, but to see these videos early and to also just be a part of the channel, be able to leave us topics and talk to us directly, etc., go to the link at the top of the video description and sign up at the Patreon page. It's $1. Seriously. I mean, get over there. Let's have some fun.
Yes. Check it out.
See you in episode 42.
See you guys.